Welcome back to Playing with a Dev, where we pick up with Valheim developer Grimmcore talking about the upcoming Mistlands update. Let's go.
Imagine swamps having a baby with mountains, and it's the biome that comes after plains. What are you actually expecting? There's lots of ups and downs. There's bad vision. You can't see that much. So, uh, Mistlands is definitely going to be a biome that people hate or love, and I think that's a really okay. So the philosophy I have is don't create something that doesn't make someone feel nothing.
Yeah, because
If
that would
if
be
if you
boring.
yes, then people just go on, just skip it. Like
Yeah.
if it's indifference, it's not worth it. Either hate it or love it. If you can reach either of those points, then like okay, so people talk about swamps because people most of the time hate swamps because it's either difficult or it's a horrible place to be. But you have to get through that
Creepy.
in this Viking saga, this story that we're playing through. You have to get through that place to progress, and then afterwards, I've seen lots of players go back to the swamps and build stuff there. Like, oh, this is actually kind of nice making tree houses or just trying to live here anyways.
I'm getting
Um,
there. I'm getting there. I have had
yeah,
to train myself because, I hate the swamps.
I hate the
but
swamp as well.
like if you're creating something, just make something that people either love or hate.
Yeah,
Get some kind of feeling out of them, and we're gonna have a lot of hate love going on in Mistlands.
I'm
I
sure.
promise.
I'm sure. I expect a lot of deaths. But speaking of things to expect, you want to go look at a couple things over here on
Oh
the
yeah, sure.
server? Going back to somewhere and ending up wanting to build there. This is our special events portal hub. This was built by Xerox. And yeah, like finding those unique places or those unique ways to build, I think is one of my joys in the game because I love building, and there are
Yeah.
so many different creative ways that people build in Valheim. I mean, and I'm sure you look at them all the time. I don't know. Do y'all ever get tired of looking at builds?
I've seen a lot of things, but I actually don't get tired of looking at people's devotion,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's mostly what I see when I come to see people's servers and builds and stuff. It's time devoted to make something that they really care about, and that means something to me.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
and I'm always amazed how unique things are. Sorry, V, go ahead.
Yeah. On the point of bills, how viewing all all the bills and how persons have been creative in Valheim, has it inspired you guys to create any particular piece that you maybe added to the game?
Um. Yes. Or have we? I don't know if we have. Okay. Yes. The answer is yes.
Very cool.
I don't know if I can elaborate. I don't know if we've shown you.
Oh, that's fine if you don't have to elaborate. It's just to know if the seeing how persons are creative in the community, if it has inspired you guys to maybe add this particular bill, that kind of stuff.
But I'm on Twitter. I'm going to Valheim's Twitter account, and I'm just gonna scroll through and see if we spoiled that somewhere, anywhere. Uh, okay, so we haven't confirmed it. Okay, yep, I cannot elaborate.
All right, that's cool.
So we'll be waiting to see what that is. Let's see. It's nighttime right now, so let's do this one. This build was done. Well, we're gonna go see one of Bree's builds. So, why don't you two go first?
In here?
Yeah, in there. Go, go. What?
One portal to another?
The first time I did this, they got me. I was like,
Okay, what's going on?
what just happened? Yeah. We're Where am I at?
I'm sliding somewhere.
I'm gonna sit down for the slide. And we're going through different biomes every time. Have you noticed?
Discovered Ashlands.
We are in the mountains. Oh, I'm in Ashlands now. What? I thought this was so creative. And, Bree and Josh, y'all worked on this together, right? Or this part of it, anyway.
It was Tiki and myself with the slide.
Yeah.
Whoa. Survived it. I knew for sure they were going to try and kill me. This was part of our Halloween contest. I was like, I'm so going to die. I think that Ravenheim has had a bad effect on my server because people keep trying to prank me. We tend to have a lot of hijinks going on in Ravenheim. No torches, cheater.
No torches.
No headlamps, torches, or hammer. No using the hammer. It's on the sign, so it must be true.
Yeah.
Alright.
You can just wander first.
It's not that scary. Or is it? You go first, B. Get in there.
Why
Go.
me?
Brave man. Go, brave man. Go. What are you
I'm
scared
a
of?
guess. I'm a guess. I should be escorted.
You're scared. You're scared.
Nice.
Ooh. Spooky.
It is. Very creepy. But I love finding ways like that to, like, play games with each other. You know, like games in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that, like, has a way that we can interact somehow with either the environment or the build parts. If we had hashtag Valheim rope, just saying. That kind of stuff is really, really fun to do. And I know before you had said, like, mechanics, y'all are, like, gonna do more magical stuff that people would be surprised with the kind of magical stuff that you do in Mistlands. Like, if there are ways to, like, use anything to be able to cause action or cause motion, cause an effect to happen on others. Because, like, even, like, we talked before and I punched you in the face, right? Because you took out the sound of the punching thing, right? And that was, like, a funny thing to do with your friends, to punch them in the face. But
Wait,
even,
we did
like...
that? Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was because you could train on each
skills.
other.
Yeah. But, I mean, you could have the effect without getting the, skill up, right?
No.
No?
If we could, you could, but that means so when you're doing an attack in an animation, we have a trigger, and that trigger does a trace, a sphere trace, or a kind of trace, and if it, so we have different kind of traces for different kind of attacks or whatever you're hitting. There are layers upon layers which traces can hit and not trace, so it's easier. And you can only have a certain amount of layers, which these traces can actually identify and give a response to. And I think that, I'm not sure how many Unity has, but it's like 18 layers or something like that, I think. So we would be wasting an entire layer just for a sound effect.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Oh, there he went.
Okay.
Yes!
You caught a dev. Get in there, V. Get in there.
Yeah.
Get in there. You have no oh, there went Tal.
Oops.
Hi, V. You tried to jump on. I tried to avoid that thing so many freaking times after I first fell in it, and I kept falling in it again. But that's so cool when we can find, like, fun little ways to do stuff like that with other players. We do that a lot on Ravenheim, too.
This is a really cool build.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very interesting. One of the things that I really liked about this build was, besides the overall creepiness and amount of work that went into this, because remember, this is all done in vanilla. I mean, everything in here is damaged. Every single piece of wood, every floor, every wall, every piece of furniture, everything is damaged, which takes a huge amount of work. Can't imagine how long that took you to do, Bree. But
like 3 times as long as what it took me to build it.
I damage stuff a lot of times to like get a different color or texture to it so that we can have a little bit more contrast in our builds as well. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to with the black marble coming out, is the amount of contrast that we'll have with so many of the parts being wood.
It's gonna be interesting seeing players do stuff with the black marble.
I'm seriously thinking about, I'm building a modern house right now, and I'm seriously thinking that I'm gonna have to go back in and replace my countertops so I can have marble countertops. And it looks like we're getting a lot of new angles too, because I know you had said before you had other angles ready, but it's cool they've been showing them off in the black marble. Or at least the steeper angles. I don't know if I've seen a flatter angle.
I think me and Lisa did. I went in and when we were doing the black marble. It felt very Minecrafty at first. It was just like big cubes in the beginning, and then I went in and did one pass at different kind of a different kind of feel to it, I guess. And then Lisa took over and she gave it a little bit more detail. But there are different angles, different kind of build pieces that you can definitely make, like diamonds and stuff, like pyramids and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But it's also like it's very polarizing kind of build piece as well.
Why?
It really takes because it really takes over everything. I feel it's for me it feels difficult to make something. It's either black marble or it's not. And that's why I'm hoping people will be able to build something that can incorporate it somehow, because that was really one of the difficulties. Like, do we want to add this at all? Because it feels difficult piecing everything together to make something interesting. But yeah, we will see.
Yeah, it seems to me like it would be a good accent.
I get what you mean about that, because the first time I saw black marble, I was trying to visualize how I would mix it with stone, and I guess I would have to get my hands on it to see how I can mix it with other pieces. I know it would work with wood. It's just like regular stone and black marble is like too sharp difference. So it's like how can mix it.
It's a huge contrast between the stone and the black marble, and just the wood to the black marble as well is a huge difference. Well, it feels. For me, it feels too modern, to be honest, sometimes, and it's like it's too. I don't know. It's going to be interesting seeing what people can do with it.
That's why I think it'll go really good in my modern house.
But then you have the
that will find a way.
Yeah.
That really goes well with it. So
The what goes really well with it, V?
the little copper.
Oh yeah.
Strip, yeah, that goes well with it.
Copper or bronze or whatever that metal is. We don't really know yet.
I don't even know yet.
Kind of have an idea what I would do with it so far. It's like if I'm gonna use the marble, definitely need those bronze pieces.
But it is contrast, and we have one in contrast. How did y'all come up with black marble? Why black marble?
It wasn't actually black from the beginning. We've been trying white and gray as well. White was really, really decadent. It felt really, really off.
Yeah, I can
But yeah,
see
black
that.
just felt right when you see all the. It felt like it fit the architecture and the landscape of Mistlands, and it wasn't actually intended like, okay, can we build with this? So it wasn't actually fitted to be for players first.
Yeah, because white marble feels like Rome
Yeah.
to me. That feels very different. Ta-da!
Is that a... Alright.
Sneaky, sneaky Bree. Sneaky, sneaky. That's a great build, Brianna.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Snuck back out front of the event portal. There's one other build I'd like to pop by just real quick. This one was from our tiny house competition. And it's by Matt's gaming channel.
Alright.
I don't know if you've heard of Matt's gaming channel. He's a really, really small channel. But definitely should get more people because he is so incredibly creative. And does really good tutorials too. So this build, he won most creative for our tiny house build. My tiny house is to the left and down.
Alright.
The entire house is underwater.
Left and down.
So how do I check it out?
It's a very good question. How did he build it is a very good question. I don't know if you've ever tried to build at the water line or anything, but it's super hard. And he has the whole entire build underwater.
Yeah.
I was like, that's creative. That's crazy. So, yeah, you can jump in.
It's more of an art piece, though, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like... Or...
It kind of is, yeah.
kind of feel like, why would you do that? Why...
Yeah, I think art is probably the answer. Or trying to win most creative in a tiny house build competition.
Alright, so the criteria was most creative.
Yeah, that was one of the categories.
Yeah.
Can't get a good view in there right now, depending on it. But it's like everything. He has everything inside.
Has anyone built like a house upside down yet?
No, but now I'm going to.
That would be fun to see.
I don't
I've
think
seen
I've
pictures
seen
of it.
one. Have you?
Yeah. On Reddit.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
So he said that the way he did this was he used the carve, and then he like built roof pieces down over it so that it pushed the carve down into the water so that he could see inside to build it. And the other one that he did for Halloween.
What are you up to?
Huh?
Huh?
Huh? What are you doing? He's a troublemaker.
Mr.
Well, you know,
Mr. Pants.
The one that he did at Halloween was a working carousel, which was crazy. Like he had a boat on a pole, and it was going round and round in circles, like hanging in the air and on the pole.
Alright.
And the way he did it was like he had trained wolves at the top, on top of the boat. And he told them to follow him, and then he stood at one end or the other, and they kept trying to get to him, so it was pushing the mast and the sail of the boat to go around and round and round and round.
Alright.
Oh, interesting.
It was really cool. Yeah, but that goes back to, again, to the motion and action kind of stuff of interacting with people. Are y'all interested in doing that kind of stuff at all? Does that count as a purpose?
Like at the moment, like when we're doing a biome, if it makes sense for the biome, then sure. But anything like redstone, like stuff like that, we've talked about it, but it's not high on our priorities.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not yet, at least.
Is that a possibility after 1.0?
I think it depends on what it is and what it does.
Yeah.
Give me an example.
I don't know. I want to be... I was going to say I want to be able to lasso people and drag them around, but V already did that to me with the harpoon enough that... Like, maybe not that one. The bear trap that's coming, though... That'll kill players, right?
Yes, it will. It will definitely will. I think a lot of people will do the rug trick with a trap.
No. No.
Because the
Me,
way that we see
you're
things
the one
about
that's
like the defensive items is like anything that is defensive in builds, it should hurt players and enemies as well.
Yeah. I'm scared. Honestly, that bear trap terrifies me about the Mistlands more than anything else that I've seen.
Yep. Yeah, but because you haven't seen you haven't seen that much.
That's
If the
true.
bear trap scares you, you should be really scared. Because that's at least not trying to chase you down.
I am scared. It's true.
ba- so basically the bear trap was put in place to kind of ease the pressure of what is really coming.
I think I think it was made mostly because we felt like it would be cool with some defensive items to be able to build out. From the beginning, it was. I think we thought it was going to be cool if you built it in the artisan table, and it would be an item that you could just place anywhere. But then, because of balance reasons with like bosses or enemies, it sounds really cheesy to be able to carry lots of these bear traps on you and just place them out anywhere.
Ah.
Um, but yeah, I haven't used them that much in Mistlands, to be honest.
Have you built a base in the Mistlands that you need to defend?
Yeah,
How'd it go?
and it's been interesting. Like I have to defend my base, but that was also because a bug that we had. But that's gone now. Every morning I woke up and there was like there was stuff outside my base all the time. Um, but we removed that bug, or we squished that bug.
So to speak.
Yes. No, but yeah, it's definitely difficult. It's like coming into planes, waking up in the morning and there's a mosquito and you haven't eaten any food, and they like get you early in the morning. It's like one of those things.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go full defenses in the Mistlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
have your back, Christy.
I am mostly scared of the bear trap because of you. You're the reason I'm terrified of the bear trap. As soon as Jonathan posted
We
that,
harmed
I
you.
thought, oh crap, Via's gonna kill me so many times.
Well, Christy, I have not killed you once, so you shouldn't worry.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Do you
That's a
remember?
setup.
You made
That's
dropping a
total
cove
lie.
where you're surrounded by bear traps, just don't walk in them.
That's
Oh
bait.
my
That's
God.
bait.
So, for single player, content is king. I get that. For multiplayer, how are the things going for ensuring that we can be reasonable for multiplayer servers and trying to make sure that we are safe for folks who may not just necessarily be folks that we don't know in real life?
Oh, there's nothing stopping from that. There's basically nothing stopping people from. Okay, so I guess it is a build piece if we're talking about the bear trap. So if you have a ward up, they won't be able to build those things unless they're in the ward.
Right, because it is a build piece.
But that was a really, really good question. I'm actually going to look that up on Monday and see if it actually prevents people from building that.
Well, I'm a little more concerned about if I want to run a completely vanilla server, how do I make sure that nobody comes in who destroys it because they are logging in with mods that don't have anything to do with vanilla?
I don't know how to stop that, and I don't think we actually will be preventing that in any way.
That's an interesting question, Tom. And we've run into that with this because this is a vanilla server. But early on, at the very beginning, we had someone sneak in a mod and mess up a bunch of stuff, and it was a freaking mess. And Jonathan helped me with it for a long time. There was no answer to the problem at the time, and so he added a setting in the cartography table to protect against part of it in the future. But we actually run one mod on this server that everyone is required. Not you today, obviously, but most normal player, all the normal players are required to run one mod that's Azu anti-cheat, and it prevents people from playing with mods in the server. Which was a pain. I had to take a crash course in mods because I never used them. And so we have to run a mod to not have mods. It's like circular. But that's the solution that worked.
Yeah, we don't really have anything, and I don't know how much I can talk about this because I'm not really. It's not my department, but we don't have anything checking if you have mods or not mods or how you're entering. We just try to set up a normal password on a server, and I mean, there's always, if someone wants to get in on your server, there's always going to be some way that people can.
Like if they're really determined and they're technical enough, people could.
I mean,
do it.
if it's more like World of Warcraft, where it's a live service game and where you have to actively prevent people from cheating and stuff like that, then it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But there's like lots of money, lots of people and resources going down into that drain as well, and we're I don't see us doing it. I can't say that we are not or are that we will. I just know that we're actively not doing it right now, at least.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And most of the mods don't affect other people, so. But I mean, there are some that can.
I have one question, and it is game related and not mod related, so I hope that's okay. When you kill the last current boss, which is obviously Yagi, which we did a couple of days ago, it ends all the raids that are boss related raids and puts fuelings in the biomes that they didn't exist in before. Can we expect fuelings to also be in the Mistlands, seeing as it's going to be an active biome, and if those servers or players' save files have already killed that boss, can we then expect potential raids from the new boss that we haven't killed yet, like we've done with all the previous sort of progression with the game?
Yes, so we have, so the different events are set up. I'm not sure if I will be explaining this correctly, but we have like armies.
Yep.
And active armies are sent out by the next boss that you're supposed to be killing. And we have those new armies, we have those set up. So I'm not sure really what happens with the fueling armies right now, if they're still there or not, but you will definitely get the new ones coming as well. It doesn't matter which world it is, it's always tied to the boss that you've killed.
Yep. Okay.
So
was that a good answer, or did I answer it correctly?
Yeah, no, I just was curious as to whether it was just going to flow on like the previous bosses, because if you were starting a character or a new world, you wouldn't have killed any bosses and you would just progress your way through, and as you kill each of them in order, you then get the raids happening for the one you haven't done. So right now on this particular server and map, we don't have those boss raids because all of them have been defeated, but we have like just the general like troll raids and things like that, and obviously the fuelings, the sort of floating around biomes at night. So I just wondered whether that transitions into Mistlands and then adds the next boss's army raid to that feature for an existing world when it gets an update.
I'm not sure how the fuelings are set up or not, if they're actually an army or if they're just a random event that is not affected by the bosses or not. So I can't see if they disappear or not, but that's something I can look into, definitely.
That's an interesting question.
Like, I can't imagine anything more scarier than already being in an area we don't know and can't see, and then hear a giggle. because it's night and you don't know where they are because you have no idea where you are. So
You can't see them in the mist.
exactly, and I'm just sort of trying to gauge like how difficult can we expect this biome to be. Like I want things to be difficult, so don't get me wrong. I just wondered whether those would follow you there.
Yeah, so I actually haven't seen them around in my Mistlands playthroughs, but I can say that if I heard giggles, I'd definitely run to them.
Okay.
Run to them?
Run to them.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
To watch the show.
Is that because they're easier than whatever's waiting?
More than
I'd
likely.
rather stand behind a couple of fuelings and have them as backup
Oh.
than meet whatever is in the mist. Because yeah,
Well, now I'm even more scared. We already have our plan. He gave us our plan on Twitter, remember? We have to have a forward team. That's going to be you. You're going to be the meat shield.
No, you work good as a meat shield.
I am a good meat shield. Oh my god, Grim. We did the Yagluth battle in Ravenheim a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
I haven't gone back and tallied. I tried a new technique for it. I think I died around 40 times.
Oh, nice.
It was horrible. Don't call me crispy. Crispy.
I was wondering if you guys made Yag harder in any of the updates. Well, I hopped into an event. I didn't even really know what was going on. I just ran around, but it seems like they were handling it pretty easy. So I was wondering if you guys made Yag harder, underneath just for when Mistlands come in and just kind of slide in.
I think what we've done to the bosses so far is we haven't changed anything in a long time, but I know we had to go. I think last time we changed Yagluth was making him easier because he had too high regeneration for solo play. So we changed that. I think all the bosses have linear health as well. I know the big thing that differs from Yagluth and other bosses is that he has very little cooldown between his attacks.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And that's also because of he doesn't do any close combat moves. He doesn't do any melee ranged attacks at all. So the blue flames, I think they are. The blue flames are the ones around him, I think.
Yeah,
And
that's the worst.
we have them burning for a longer period of time, so you have to wait for that. And when that's not burning, he's throwing the meteors.
Yeah, I forgot about the danger of the blue flames when we did him on Ravenheim. But V, we did him here since then, and I didn't die a single time. I'd like you to know, just for the record. I have video proof if you need it.
I'm guessing you got carried, right?
I got what?
You got carried.
Carried? You just freaking... This is why I need my punching sound back. It's because
Yeah.
I went in prepared instead of trying to do it in Fenris armor.
Oh, Grim, I did it in root armor and died less than Christy.
With no
3
pants.
times. With no pants.
He was wearing no pants the whole time. He refuses to wear pants. Even if he sticks his butt in your wolf's face. Just saying.
Yeah, well, it's his character. It's his bat signal.
He's definitely a character. Yeah, I would have rage quit if it hadn't been for V, because I became a raving lunatic. I was like, forget it, and I was just walking in the fire because I was like, I'm gonna die anyway. I couldn't get my grave back to get my weapons and my armor because it was surrounded by locks and mosquitoes. So I was like, I'm done for. Well, thanks for joining us today, Grimmcore. I know that you have limited time today, so I don't want to keep you.
I'm
long.
going straight to bed
I'm
after
sure.
this.
You gotta be
Absolutely.
tired from running
Thanks
the
for your
course that
time.
many times.
It's been a hectic 2-3 weeks right now. It's been a lot of balancing in Mistlands and lots of interviews and lots of. It's been like I wrote a post, like my soul is like flatlining, and it's basically true because it's so much to do just to keep everything in check. And just some of your questions today got me thinking, like, does the ward actually prevent people from putting down bear traps? I'm not
I
sure.
hope so, because I might need it.
Yep.
I think maybe I need to talk to Jonathan. Be like, please, pretty please, I'll send you cookies. But it's a build part, so I would think so.
I guess so. Should be
We'll see.
okay. And Mistlands will be out this year. It will not be out next year.
And it's going to public test.
Yes.
So, how long do you think it's going to take in public test? That's the biggest one that's gone to public test yet.
I think it all depends on how much people find, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we've found a lot already, and we've fixed a huge amount of them. Some we're doing a family and friends trial right now. After all of these bug fixes and tweaks and clarity fixes and stuff like that, and so far, family and friends love it.
Nice.
I was talking to PC Gamer last week.
Right?
She loved it. She thought it was amazing.
Nice. I mean, I think that's going to be the consensus when it gets here.
We will see.
I was trying to remember. I think Caves was in public test for 2 weeks. Was it that long?
It's just caves.
And I was going to say,
is-
but that's just Caves. Yeah, so I don't know.
I am mostly worried about worlds, people's worlds. If people are going in and testing, I hope people will make backups for their worlds.
Right.
That's all I can say. Like, it's been working fine for me. I don't play that much multiplayer, but I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. We've got crossplay going on as well.
Right.
There are some issues with the crossplay, but yeah, hopefully we get that solved as well sooner or later. I'm not seeing it getting fixed anytime really soon. But yeah, it'll all depend on how much people find and what people find.
So, are they not going to wait for crossplay to be fixed now before putting Mistlands to public test?
Crossplay. I mean, okay, so crossplay is fixed, but it's just like edge cases where it doesn't really work that well.
Okay.
It's mostly for people who have bad connections playing with people who has great connections that causes some issues. I think. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that into that side of that development, but that's my understanding of it. Because the back end of Steam works differently with packages versus how Steam Store works with their back end. With the, I think it's called PlayFab or something like that.
Yeah, so it's different. Yeah, definitely backups, especially too, and like doing it on servers. That's, I would say.
I think we're gonna hear a lot of people saying like, "Wait, my Mistlands is not updating correctly," and I think people that have explored some Mistlands are gonna get those kind of things going on.
Are saying, oh, because they have old Mistlands, you mean?
Yeah, because some people
Yeah.
might have been there and explored some parts of it, and it's not updating correctly, and because people are people, and I'm not saying that all people in the world are stupid, but people tend to not tell the whole truth.
Yeah.
And like today, like, did you install mods, Robin? My first reaction was, of course I haven't installed mods, Christy.
Well, I knew you had done that one. I was like, is it still there?
It could be.
That's funny. Yeah, we're super, super careful to do backups on the server. And, I mean, because it's a bunch of people's games. And, you know, people are living on servers for a long time now. Like, we just turned what day was it? Like, we're getting close to 10,000 days here. Have y'all... I don't know, this might be a multiplayer advantage or considered, but for like people that are keeping worlds, well, it would be for single player too, I suppose. People that are keeping worlds for a really long time now, like they're not just doing the playthrough and leaving, like they're living in the world. Have y'all talked at all about the possibility of some resources regenerating eventually over a really super long time, like swamp crypts or tin, that kind of thing?
No.
Okay.
To be honest, we haven't talked about that because it's so easy to make a farm server or stuff like that, and
That's true.
it's not anything we have actually thought of putting any resources into.
Yeah.
Making sure that it is updatable in that way. Maybe in the
Yeah.
future.
But you're true.
But yeah.
That's true when it's multiplayer. I mean, and we have a resource server too that switches every month, so you have a new world to explore, and it helps us keep this world beautiful too, because we don't want to just scour the land like locusts. We're probably gonna do a new world for Mistlands, so
All right. Yep.
you'll come in at spawn again.
To be honest, I think
everybody
the old
will-
worlds are better for Mistlands than the new worlds.
New worlds are better.
No, old worlds.
Oh.
I think that's what I feel.
Why?
I don't know. It's I just it's just a feeling I have. I like the old world generation versus the new world generation.
How is it different?
You'll have to
Be
wait
able
and
to
see for
choose.
Mistlands that is landing this year sometime.
Okay, fine. That helps me make my decision.
New worlds work actually really fine. They're good. It's just I can't see this map. It just feels like okay. So this is what I feel. In new generation, the Mistlands are much bigger, which tends to, in my experience, divide the locations a bit more, so there's a further range to every location. In older worlds where Mistlands is smaller, it's more compact with interesting locations to find.
Oh. See, because I had so far been told that there might be some larger areas of Mistlands, but like they weren't sure of a percent or if it was going to be a significant amount. But you think it feels more significantly amount of them.
Like the land mass is bigger.
Of where the Mistlands is, okay.
Yes.
Instead of like interspersed with the other biomes as much. People have to keep in mind too that when you're looking at your map of what is uncovered of Mistlands, it's actually generated more than just what the fog has been cleared.
Come again?
Like when you're looking at your map around Mistlands and you say, oh, well, I have, you know, I can see that I found Mistlands there, but there's still a lot more. Like, it's generated more of the world than just what is uncovered by the fog on your map. So, like, if you have a little edge of Mistlands uncovered, it's actually, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. It's like, I'm going to lie if I say a number. It's like a large number of meters past what you can see that's already generated in that zone, because it generates zone by zone.
Yeah, so it's I don't remember the exact number either, but if you look at it as like squares, if you're standing on one square, it's basically how many squares around you? It's 8 squares around you. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
9.
5, 6, 7, 8.
9 squares.
Yeah, exactly around you.
I have a great video on this that I did for Mountain Caves that I never released. I should take that one little piece and just put it out there so people can understand the difference of. So if you get mad and say, oh, there's no Mistlands here and I didn't explore it, like they can understand, no, you actually explored more than you realized that you did.
Yeah, it should be fun. I think people will have a time of either death or fun.
Yeah.
So,
And in Ravenheim, We are starting a new world and a new season, and we're going to have some new ravens, and we have all kinds of new tricks in our bag. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We're definitely going to have to get you over there at some point. Yeah, I'm excited about next season because we have a lot of fun stuff coming for the Mistlands.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to run now. Grim, it was a pleasure meeting you for the first time.
Yeah,
I hope
the
hope
same.
you do accept the invite to pop over at Rivenheim. We sure will welcome you.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks, Christy, for inviting me over.
Thanks for
Yep,
hanging out,
same.
Verso. I
Cheers.
appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon,
Thank
friend.
you all.
Well, thanks so much for spending time with us. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to do it, as usual. And I appreciate your work, of course, as well.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe for all things Valheim. Until next time,
Happy gaming.
Happy gaming.
happy gaming!